Welcome to the Just Thinking podcast. I'm fictional on the YouTube channel, Fictional or True, and in today's mini podcast episode, I'm going to talk about microwaves, specifically microwave ovens, and I'm going to start with the history. So, from what I've understood, what I've been told is that the history is that there was a scientist who was doing some sort of experiment with microwave radiation, which is a type of scientific radiation, and from what I hear, it was a chocolate bar in his pocket that melted. It might have been something like that, maybe an egg or something that cooked. But the idea was that he figured out that microwaves can cook food, and so he turned this into a consumer product for households. Now, pretty much every home has a microwave. You can make just about anything, including instant meals. You can even cook an egg completely in the microwave. I used to do that for a lot of years. So, what are my thoughts on microwaves? I think they're great. I think they're convenient. I heard it said that they kind of reduce the nutritional value, but I wonder how much. So, from what I understand, microwaves do cause breaking down of bonds and nutrients in the food, but not by much. I think what happens is it heats up the water, but I could be wrong on that. So I'm going to keep going so I don't share too much wrong information. What I do know is microwaves are loud. Let's say it's 11 o'clock and I want to make a cup of tea. So I microwave the water, and a minute and 20 seconds later, yeah, that's how long I microwave my water for tea, there's this loud beeping that fills the house. So, quiet modes. I think that all microwaves should have a quiet mode. You just press a button and it says, I will not beep. Now, this does mean you'd have to stand in front of the microwave, and not everyone wants to do that. A lot of people will go over and do other things, maybe take a bathroom break, take care of laundry, finish up work they're doing. There's a lot of things you can do while you're waiting for your food to cook in the microwave. So it's understandable that they do keep that timer on there, but I still think that it should have a quiet mode purely for the sake of allowing people to use a microwave late at night without disturbing anyone. So more thoughts. Upon moving, we didn't take the microwave with us. And the disappointing part was that the new microwave didn't have that add 30 seconds button. I have found that while I don't care too much about the style of my microwave, the things that I miss from the old one I grew up with are the add 30 seconds button that lets you instantly put 30 seconds additional onto your time. The express cook, which meant you could just press one button. Let's say you press 1 and it'll cook it for 1 minute. Or if you press the 7, it'll cook it for exactly 7 minutes. Saves you from having to press cook time and then 7:00 and then dealing with, oh, well, you pressed the 0 too many times and now you're about to cook it for 70 minutes. You don't have to deal with that. You just press the 7 button once and it starts. But the microwave I'm using now doesn't have that. So you think, well, should you just get a new microwave? Maybe, but maybe not. You know, it's tough to get new appliances, but I'm getting carried away, as usually happens. So what else do I think about microwaves? Again, I had said how I think they're convenient. I don't think the effects on your health are too significant as long as you're still eating healthy. I think part of the concern is that most microwave meals are pre-packaged and then become processed foods because they have to stay preserved for a long time. They're probably going to sit in your freezer. So they have preservatives in them, which is probably the unhealthy part. So if you're making your food from scratch and cooking in the microwave, maybe that's okay. Maybe it's better. I don't really know. I'm trying to think if I have any other thoughts. Turntables. Turntables are useful. They, spin the food around for you. But if you have a food explosion, let's say you're cooking spaghetti and you forgot to cover it, or you're cooking soup and it boiled and now you have a mess in your microwave, you just have 3 or 4 more parts to clean now that you have this turntable. Whereas before you could just wipe everything down with a paper towel. Still, turntables are convenient because no matter where you put your food in the microwave, it's still going to get cooked as long as it's on that turntable, and it's going to get cooked evenly. So, as someone who has a toaster oven in addition to a microwave, which do I think is better? I have found that it really depends on what you're going for. If I want to reheat my pizza, for instance, I will use a microwave instead of a toaster oven. So the toaster oven is very easy to use quickly. You just turn the knob and it'll start going. But if I want something crispy, like if I want to make toast, I'll of course use the toaster oven. As someone who eats a lot of garlic bread, I find myself using the toaster oven as much as the microwave because I really only use the microwave for tea most of the time. So, that being said, I would say it really just depends on what you're trying to cook. Let's say, going back to a few episodes ago, you want to cook a marshmallow without using flame. You could use the toaster oven. In fact, that might work better because if you use the microwave, your marshmallow is going to puff up and then you're just going to have a big blob of marshmallow goo, and that's hard to clean up again, especially if you have a turntable. I'm starting to run out of thoughts on microwaves. You kind of run into the question of what color do you want the microwave to be, and that just comes down to your kitchen decor. It should match the rest of the appliances. Microwaves above stovetops that have the lights in them are kind of annoying. I was just replacing the bulbs on those, and they blew out. It was just I pushed the button, and there was a sudden pop, and both of the light bulbs went dead, which was disappointing because I need those lights, and I don't have them now. So, like I said, I'm running out of thoughts on microwaves. I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about microwaves as I thought out loud about them. This has been the Just Thinking podcast. Next week, I believe I'm going to be talking about pocket dimensions, the fourth spatial dimension, and maybe a little bit of alternate universes. So stay tuned for that. It might be interesting. It might be really boring, but you'll have to find out next week. Thanks for listening.